Okay, this is my SSDC. Okay, this is my class 4 lesson 4, right? Okay, recap. Okay, tomorrow my last lesson. Today my lesson is at 8:10 p.m. again. Okay, didn't get instructor name. Apparently he didn't chop. He don't have a chop, so I didn't get his name. Okay, so anyway, what we did today is the main focus is what we call vertical parking, the normal vertical parking, and then directional change, right? Okay. And also, the good thing is because this is only two of the obstacle. I won't say obstacle, more of the causes that's to be tested. So the rest of the time, I went through the four narrow causes. Okay, during the spare time. So of course, when we first start off, we can do rope tying. Okay, so it's like quite standard. Rope tying, you must really know. Okay, for height estimation, very weird. It seems that different instructors have different practice, but it does seems that to be as accurate as possible. So may not need to round up. This instructor today tested me, then I actually round up a little bit. Actually, not a little bit. He was around using around 1.4 like that, 1.4, 1.9 for the height estimation. And then I was then I round up to 2 meters. Then he said no need to round up. I was like, huh? Okay, so quite weird. So then I said, okay, so is it 1.9? I said, yeah, okay. It's less than 1 feet. So I really got a bit confused here. Okay, see how it goes. I know it has to be as exact as possible, but not towards like 2.41, this kind of thing. It's to the nearest 10, so as close as possible, right? Okay, so without further ado, I'll go through the lesson for today, right? Okay, clear first. Okay, so vertical parking. Okay, for vertical parking, right? Okay, we will do the vertical parking at number 23 and at number 28, right? These are the vertical parking space. Okay, so that means the tester can choose either one to test you. Okay, so apparently okay, I have to really make it very clear. Okay, so when doing the vertical parking, right, you will for number 23, okay, you will come from here, your lorry is here, and then once you pass this line, right, you don't need to signal, but you can start to keep more to the right, okay, to your right. Okay, how much right? Okay, he keeps saying half of the lorry. Actually, the instructor meant half of I won't say half of the lorry but then in the driver's seat, right, as long as your again I use the speedometer, that speedometer console, right, as the gauge, right, as long as the center meet with this center divider, right, okay, it should be the best position, right? So you will after the traffic junction, you try to keep more to the right, and then you align so that your lorry, okay, from the driver's point of view, the center of the so-called the dashboard, the meter console, right, is in the center of this line. Okay, once at the center, okay, signal left. This is a left turn, so you signal left. Okay, signal left first. Okay, since you are reversing, okay, so I might have made a mistake. So whenever you reverse, right, the check is all around. Don't just check left. So whenever you reverse, right, you have to check your mirror, the two mirrors, and then blind spot left, blind spot right, blind spot left, blind spot right, and then reverse. Okay, so while reversing, right, okay, where to stop turning. Okay, you see this arrow. Why I purposely so-called have such a big picture. This arrow in opposite junction is the key. So when you start reversing, right, when you reverse your lorry, when the tip of this arrow, okay, I want to emphasize, let me just clear here, the tip of this arrow here, this one, is in line with your shoulder. That means the lorry moved back already. Is in line with your shoulder. Okay. Okay, maybe a bit longer. It's in line with your shoulder. You start to turn full lock, 3 rounds, full lock. I call it the full lock. Okay, once, again I repeat, once the tip of this arrow is in line with your shoulder, turn full lock 3 rounds to the left, and then start to reverse. Okay. If you turn too late, if you turn at this arrow, okay, you will strike this curb here. If you turn a bit earlier, right, earlier than this arrow, right, this is your worry. But then, as the instructor said, right, it's better to turn early than late, because early, right, you can simply instead of the full lock, right, you release a little bit, a couple of not say couple of rounds, but half a round or 1 round, right, and then you can adjust and it will go straight in nicely. But if you are late, right, if you turn too late at this arrow, okay, if you turn late, your right rear wheel will hit this curb. If you didn't hit this curb, right, then you, in order to adjust, right, you make additional movement, that will be 4 points. Okay, so the best is to use a gauge, is use this arrow tip. Okay, so try your best to use the arrow tip and say, okay, pass the shoulder, not pass, okay, in line with the shoulder, full lock 3 rounds, and then turn, and then try to gauge, right? So once the lorry is in, okay, oops, once the lorry is in, okay, you will go in nicely. Okay, once it move in, when do you know where to stop? When, okay, there is 2 traffic lights here. Okay, 2 traffic lights here. As long as your shoulder, right, again, you as a market, if your shoulder is in line with the second traffic light, the second one that is further in, is in line, you can stop the vehicle already. Okay, so that is for the vertical parking. So first thing first is, okay, I repeat, first thing first, once you cross the junction, try to move more to the right, so that in the driver's seat, the console, right, the speedometer, that console, right, is the center is in line with this dotted line here, and then move forward. After that, signal left. Then since you're going to do a reverse, check all around, and then engage the reverse gear, move back, wait until the shoulder is aligned, in line with this arrow tip, and then 3 full rounds, three full rounds, and do a full lock, and then you go in. Okay, so once you are inside, you can straighten, and then just move straight in until your shoulder is in line with the second traffic light. Stop. Okay, once you stop, right, okay, so called engage the gear to neutral, and then handbrake up, then the timing will stop. Okay, so this is based on timing. You got 3 minutes, so it can be done, but the key thing is don't be too late. If you turn too late, right, at the second arrow, right, you will hit this curb, and then if you do additional movement, that's 4 points. Okay, So a bit earlier, and then you gauge. When I was turning, I had to look at the more to my left mirror, because I have to look for the left rear wheels to make sure that it passed this. Okay, so it is much easier in the sense lah to be slightly earlier, but best is on time. Okay, so that is for number 23. Okay, then what about the other this what we call vertical parking? The next vertical parking is at number 28, right? 28. So at number 28, right? So most prop for number 28, most of the time you will be out from the S course. If they want to test you and say, okay, out from the S course, okay, do vertical parking. Okay, so if that is case, right? Okay, now there's no more this line. If you see this picture, right? Okay, this center divider, actually no more there lah. It's no longer there. Okay, if it's still there, it's actually much easier. Okay, so normally if this is the case, right, we are going to use the number 28, this parking lot here, to park. So again, same thing, try to align the vehicle, and then this time round it is the vertical parking is just now that one is to our left. Okay, this one is also to our left lah. Okay, so now you move forward. Okay, you move forward. It's okay to move forward. Okay, now how do we gauge? Now this line is no longer there. This solid white line is no longer there. Okay, this is quite an old map lah. Okay, since it's no longer there, okay, just use a rough gauge the center of the lane. Okay, if you cannot see, right, there's sort of the depression on the ground, right? The depression on the ground. Align again, same thing. Align your this meter console, the center, to be in line with this imaginary line. Once you align your lorry to be the so-called console to be in line with this imaginary line, right? Okay, that means your position is correct. And then now we don't have what we call arrow to guide us. Okay, correct. But then there's a trick. Okay, there's a bit of a trick. Again, same thing. Okay, I tell you the procedure first, right? So once you turn out, okay, align our lorry, the console, to be in line with this imaginary line, and then start to signal. Again, same thing, signal left. Okay, and then since you're reversing, blind spot is all around, so you check the two mirrors. Blind spot right, blind spot left, turn over your shoulder, check your blind spot, and then engage reverse gear. You start to move back. Okay, when you're moving back, right, there's a funny thing. Okay, the good thing is for the SSDC instructor lah. Okay, there at this curb, there's one of the curb with a crack, and then there's a white marking. There's a white chalk marking there. Okay, so look for that white chalk marking which is leading up to crack. Okay, how do we know that that's the actual one? Okay, it just happens that at the curb, right, at the cement surface, right, there is some black tar around, and then just nice there is a white line there. So it is a bit of like cheating lah. So if as long as you see that white marking is in line with the shoulder, that means this lorry is moving back already. Okay, here we are, somewhere here. Okay, it should be straight. Okay, it is in line with the shoulder. Again, same thing. Okay, three rounds full lock to the left. Okay, turn 3 full rounds and lock, and slowly release your clutch. Okay, everything is done in gear 2. Okay, again, same thing. This is what we call clutch control. No need to press accelerator one. Just need to use your second gear, clutch control the second gear, and a bit of the braking, right? So once you turn full lock, okay, when I say full lock, it means 3 full rounds. Okay, once your shoulder is in line with that marking on the curb, the crack on the curb, and then the white chalk mark here, turn 3 full round, and then you will go in. Okay, okay. For this one, right? Okay, same thing. try to, I say the marking is the key lah. If you want, you can be either early, but don't be late. If you're late, you will hit this curb. If you're early, you will have to be more watchful this curb. Okay, so once done, right? Okay, you turn in, okay, reverse, and then straighten. When you're inside the lot, just straighten yourself and move back. Okay, when do you know when to stop? When your shoulder, again, your shoulder is in line with this stop line here. There's a stop line you can see. When the stop line and your shoulder is in line, stop the vehicle. Your lorry is fully inside. Okay, fully inside. Okay, how about moving out? Okay, sorry, I forgot about the moving out part. Okay, I forget to explain. So when moving out, don't rush out. Okay, and then immediately turn. Likewise, when moving out, right? Okay, make sure signal. There's only one way lah for this. Let's say that if we are using number 23, right? Okay, signal signal left. Okay, again, because you're moving forward, so just signal left, blind spot left, and then you move forward until your front, okay, cannot see this arrow already. There's this arrow here. Just move forward until you cannot see the arrow. You can start to do turning, and then you most probably will end up somewhere here, but just slowly go back to your left lane. Okay, so as this is the arrow is the key. Okay, the arrow is the key. Once you cover, see that your from the driver's seat you cannot see the arrow already. You can turn. That means your rear wheel have already cleared this curb. Okay, so why I remember this one is because when I was turning out at this lot, I actually strike the curb. Okay, so for this, okay, now because there's no more marking, unfortunately, right? So you have to gauge and then move your lorry forward past the imaginary line. Okay, and then from there you try to move out a little bit more. Okay, from the rear mirror, actually one way to gauge is you can use your so-called your left mirror. You can use your left mirror and see that actually more or less the rear wheel, right? Okay, clear this curb, you can start to turn already. So what is some of the gauge here? Some gauge is you can move forward until you see that you pass half of this whole lane, and then plus a little bit more, maybe somewhere here, and then you start to turn. Then you'll be quite safe. Again, same thing. That means you have to do a wide turning like that, right? So that is for stopping and then moving out from this vertical parking. Likewise, if for this one, this is actually again the left turn. Okay, and then you again signal left blind spot, and then move forward until you pass the center imaginary line plus some more, and then you start to do a turn, left turn, and then there. Okay, so most probably if they do this, then they ask you to do the crank cross. Okay, that's what happens. The instructor actually asked me to do the parking first, then after that is followed by the obstacle. Alright, so that's for this vertical parking. Okay, now for this clear. Now for the directional change. Let me move this one up. Okay, move out. Okay, directional change. Okay, for directional change, right, it occurs at number 24 and then at number 30. These are the two directional change for class 4, right? So for directional change, down here you do a left turn, and then the instructor may say, okay, turn into number 24. Okay, so that's what happened. He said, okay, turn into number 24, then you turn in. Okay, for directional change, right? Okay, you signal left, and then you again blind spot left, and then you turn inside. Okay, there's a funny thing about directional change. Okay, we are going to do reverse again. Okay, you move forward. Okay, you move forward, and then surprisingly, it is like a bit counterintuitive. Okay, but you align close to, okay, since our this what we call the pocket, I call this the pocket. If the pocket is on our right hand side, okay, if the pocket on right hand side, you keep to the right in this. Okay, for directional change, right, at any one time 2 vehicles can be inside the obstacle. Okay, how to do it? Okay, one vehicle is here, okay, one lorry is here, then the other one will do the reverse, let him reverse. Once reverse in, right, okay, then you go forward and then take the slot, and then here will be empty, and then this vehicle will move out. Okay, so for directional change at any one time 2 vehicles can go in. Okay, so yeah, so for directional change, let me just go through the process again. So you come in, okay, so down here you signal left, left blind spot, and then you turn in, and then you try to keep to the right, okay, so that don't be too right lah. That means don't keep too much to the right, just be near to the curb, not on the cement itself. If you are the cement, is a bit too much. Okay, so move forward, keep moving forward until from the driver's point of view you cannot see the curb here. Okay, there's a curb here. Wait until you totally cannot see the curb, right? You can stop. You can stop. Okay, if you cannot see the curb, okay, you can stop. Okay, then after that, signal this is to the right, signal right. Okay, since this is a reverse, okay, now I keep repeating. For reverse, right, don't just check the direction we're going to reverse to. It should be a all round check. Okay, so we you signal right, and then check all around, check your right mirror, left mirror, right blind spot, left blind spot, and then you start to turn. Okay, well, not don't start to turn, start to reverse back. Okay, engage the reverse gear, and then you reverse back. Okay, when you reverse back, right, again your eyes on the curb. When you can start to see a little bit of the curb, not say little bit lah, but when you start to see the curb, right, you can start to turn already. Turn again, same thing. This is more to the right. Turn full lock 3 rounds to the right, and then you will go inside the pocket. Okay, this pocket is actually quite big. It is more forgiving than the vertical parking. Okay, so there is okay like a little bit more room for, I won't say error lah, for so called a bit late. Okay, so that's why the curb, right, when you don't say see a little bit then immediately turn, you can actually say, okay, I see the curb already, not the full curb. Let's say maybe half, or okay, when you start to from your viewpoint, I can see the curb already. Okay, can start to turn, right? Then you start to turn. You can go in quite nicely lah. Directional change is much easier. Okay. Then once you're inside here, okay, when to stop? Okay, for me, right, I realized that I use the instructor tester side the window, right? At the, I think there's a sort of like mini, like the handle there. When the handle and the meets the corner of this curb, right, I actually stop. Okay, it's very hard to gauge based on my own side. So how I see is actually I see it from the corner, see from the tester's point of view, right? Because the window is not a full flat window. The window has something like a shape like this, I think. Okay, I just draw like that. Okay, so this is the windows here. Okay, so when I see that from this part, right, if I can see this side of the curb, right, I can stop already. Okay, technically you should be inside this pocket. Okay, so give and take a little bit lah. Okay, so then when moving out, okay, so move out, you are inside the curb already. Okay, then you signal, because the way out is left, then you signal left blind spot, move forward. Okay, pass your shoulder plus some more, almost more than half. Okay, more than half of the vehicle. So once you move forward and then half of this lane. Okay, for me, how do I engage half of this lane plus a little bit more, and then you can start to turn out, right? You can do 2 rounds, almost like don't need full lock lah. As long as watch your left mirror for this curb. Once it's clear, you are quite safe, and then you will be here. Okay, and then you just signal right, and yeah, signal right, yeah, signal right, and then you turn out right. Okay, and then most prop, if you do the directional change, most prop they will ask you to do the V lah. Okay, today I made quite a few mistakes here. Is that when turning, right, I actually mount the curb here. Ooh, during the turning, right, wow, my rear wheel kena this curb. Wow, it was so bad. I really panicked. Okay, then the first time round I turned, actually, then the instructor complaining, you turn too wide. So I was like trying to think how to overcome this. Then I think more or less I could have figured out that is the normal turn. That means use the dashboard, right? That lobang. I should use that to trace this line. I think should be able to work. Okay, hopefully tomorrow I got some chance to try out. Okay, where is the other directional change? It's almost a mirror image. So that this directional change is in the left, and then this one is to the right. Okay, so if you're coming in, you can either come in from this side, okay, this side, or then this side. Okay, most of the time they will ask you to come in this side, and then you just signal left. Okay, signal left and blind spot left, and then you sorry, it is right. My mistake. Okay, left or right, let me see. So for this side is the right, so this is the left. Okay, yeah, this is the left, my mistake. Okay, so you signal left, blind spot left, and then turn left inside. Okay, since this directional change, right, okay, it is just now that one is more to the right. Okay, this one is more to the left. Okay, to your left. So now what happened is same thing, 2 vehicles can be inside. Likewise, you keep more to the left, because since the pocket is on the left, this is on the right. Okay, so this is on the right, this is on the left. Okay, so same thing. Okay, make sure you move forward close to the curb. All right, that means for the left side, keep close to the left curb, and then once the front, your this front, move forward until you cannot see the curb, then stop, and then again signal. Now this is to our, actually this is to our left, signal left, and then blind spot. Okay, no, not blind spot left, but check the 2 mirrors. Okay, blind spot right, blind spot left, and then engage reverse gear, and then you start to move back until you see the curb. Okay, a bit of the curb, right, maybe less than half, and then start to do a full lock to the left, 3 rounds, and then you will go in. Okay, likewise, when to stop. Okay, stop is when the mirror not the mirror, sorry, the window. I use the windows, and then this side of the curb on the instructor side to tell me when to stop. As long as I can see the curb at the corner there, near the window corner, okay, I stop. Okay, likewise, moving out. So moving out, I should signal right, blind spot right, and then move forward until you cover more than half of this lane plus a little bit more, and then you can start to turn. Okay, you should be able to clear the directional change quite easily. Then after that, it can be left or right turn. Okay, so that is for directional change. Okay, that's all for today. Okay, maybe something that happens to me. So after the directional change, and then going through some of the narrow courses, right? So the instructor actually bring me out to the road lah. So then I mean, throughout the whole process, I do realize some of my mistake. Like I mount the curb, I strike the curb at the vertical parking at the V course, and then when out on the road, he noted that okay, now I actually remind myself, after I change to 3rd gear, I keep my left foot on the floorboard lah, because I tend to stand by. That's not right. Okay, so once you change the 3rd gear, legs down on floorboard, Okay, move forward. Okay, when you need to change down, then you start to engage the clutch again. Yeah, at gear 2 you can do half clutch. That means your leg can be on clutch. But gear 3 no. Okay. So I really could rectify the error. But the issue now is I tend to throw my clutch. That means I release my clutch too fast. Okay, that's one. And then the next thing is whenever I stop, right, I keep forgetting to change to gear 2 to move off. So sometimes I keep reminding myself, hey, stop, must change to gear 2. So that is a mistake that I also always make. So whenever you come to a complete stop, don't care what, just remind yourself, okay, immediately change your clutch, change your gear to gear 2, then move off. If not, if the instructor say, hey, how come it's like vibrating, it's sort of knock, right? That means when you engage third gear and start moving off and the engine knock, that means you're using the improper gear. Okay, so that I think that one will be penalized also. Okay, so that's the next mistake. Then of course I find it a bit hard to engage the gear. So sometimes I push it too hard. This will be to, instead of gear 2 I go into reverse. So all these are some of the things that some of the mistakes I make today lah. So main thing is throwing off my clutch, forgetting to change down to gear 2 after stopping. Yeah, I think that's about it lah. Yeah. So of course, oh yeah, one more thing. So whenever reversing, especially whenever we straighten our vehicle, right? Don't just look at the mirror. Okay, you should turn and look at the back using the window panel to our left hand side. That should be the actual way, because if you look for me, I tend to look at the mirror on my right hand side. Okay, then the instructor say, hey, you cannot like that, because more importantly is your mirror only see the right hand side, but the left hand side, what if somebody is there? Then oh yeah, okay. So he say, don't just look at your side, because your side you can glance and then turn, but immediately look at whenever I'm trying to straighten and reverse, right? Okay, always pay attention to the left. Okay, and then yeah, since talking about that, I also have a bad habit of not looking at the left mirror. So all these are the some of the key mistakes I made today lah. So just to share with you all, hopefully you'll be more watchful when you are so-called doing your on road driving or general doing in the circuit lah. Right? So that's all. Thank you.